Shalom. The scene is the home of my cousins, the Natowitzes. In the 1960s, in Metuchen, New Jersey, our entire family is gathered for the Pesach Seder, and the time comes for the kids to go open the door to welcome Eliyahoo Ha-navi, Elijah the prophet. My brother and I go with our cousin Jerry and other members of the family to open the door and welcome Elijah. And as we open the door, our cousin Phil holds a huge doll on a stick, on a pole, like a boogeyman, and boy does he scare us. We go running back to the table screaming. My earliest Pesach memory. And as I found out over the years, my cousin Phil wasn't the only one who did such silly things. Lots of people would take that moment to instill a little fear into the children opening the doors for Elijah. But Elijah's real role at the Seder and at other times of celebration is to be the Mevaser B'sorot Tovot, to bring good news, news of peace, news of redemption, news of good times that are coming for all humanity. Elijah's role at the Seder is to let us know that the bad times are over and that there are good times waiting for us and for all of Am Yisrael, if not all of humanity. And so we look forward to Pesach, and we look forward to celebrating Elijah's arrival on Pesach. And on this Shabbat, before Pesach, Shabbat Ha-gadol, the Great Sabbath, we will be talking about Elijah. Of course, the name Shabbat Ha-gadol, we're told by some scholars, comes from the length of the rabbi's sermon as the rabbi spends an inordinate amount of time explaining the laws and the intricacies and the details of preparing for Pesach. And so the rabbi would give an unusually long sermon, and therefore Shabbat Ha-gadol, the Great Sabbath, because there was a great sermon, meaning long sermon, being delivered in the synagogue. But others claim that the name really comes from a pasuk, a verse in the Haftarah, which we read on this Shabbat. The Haftarah coming from the 3rd chapter of Malachi, where we read the words, Hinei anochi sholeach lachem et Eliyahoo Ha-navi lifnei bo yom Adonai ha-gadol v'hanora. Behold, I will send to you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the awesome and fearful day of the Lord. Not fearful in the negative sense, but fearful in the sense of awesome, of it being a great time, a time of redemption, a time of B'sorot Tovot, good news. And so already this Shabbat we begin anticipating that good news as we wait for the arrival of Elijah. Here at Anshe Emet, not everybody has the patience to wait for Pesach to greet Elijah, Eliyahoo Ha-navi, and hear good news, B'sorot Tovot. And so this Sunday, April 1st at 7 p.m., we are privileged to welcome to our community His Excellency, the Ambassador of the State of Israel to the United States, Dr. Michael B. Oren, who will be joining us as we kick off our celebrations and tributes to our spiritual leader, Rabbi Michael Siegel, in honor of his 30 years of leadership as rabbi of our community, of our congregation. Dr. Oren, Ambassador Oren, is coming from Washington to give us an update on what is happening in Israel and the Middle East. And in this year of not great news, the recent killings of innocent children and a rabbi in Toulouse in France, the bombings of southern Israel, and especially in my hometown of Ashkelon, and the general fear of the possibility of war and the likelihood or not of a nuclear attack by Iran against the free world in general and Israel in particular. In these difficult times, we need B'sorot Tovot, and it is our hope that Ambassador Oren will fulfill the function that Elijah will fulfill on Pesach. He won't fill his shoes, but he will come to us with B'sorot Tovot, or at least B'sorot Yesharot, honest news, if not good news. We hope that Ambassador Oren will be able to fill us in on what needs to happen and what we need to do to preserve the peace and to preserve the freedom of the State of Israel and to bring peace and peace of mind to all human beings who love human beings, love all humanity, and want peace in our world. So we look forward to welcoming Ambassador Oren. We look forward to celebrating our rabbi's leadership together as a community. And we look forward to having a peaceful, quiet, and wonderful Pesach. I wish you all not only Shabbat Shalom, the peace of the Sabbath, but Chag Kasher V'Sameach. May this be a wonderful Pesach for you and for all of your loved ones. Shalom.